Hello, everybody. Good Monday afternoon. At least it's Monday afternoon where I am. I'm Casey Durango with Go Keto with Casey, and this is a live broadcast. If you do not enjoy live broadcasts, you might want to move on to another video. Today's topic: how do we defend following a ketogenic diet? More to the point, should we defend going on a ketogenic diet? Even more to the point, whose business is it that we're on a ketogenic diet? Not to be harsh. I don't want to be harsh. I do want us to all get along. But let's face this. And we've talked about this before, that sometimes one of the greatest struggles, the challenge is not so much reducing the carbs. I mean, we do that, we get used to it, we reduce the carbs. It's either learning to eat only when we're hungry or dealing with social/family situations where others may not be receptive to our choices. And that can be a true struggle. I'm talking, and apparently nobody's getting through. Can you guys see me? Okay, some people can see me, some can't. I don't know ever what happens on that. Try going out and coming back in. Can you all hear me? Everything good? Someone give me a thumbs up. Yes, say hello, Casey. Buenos dias, Casey. Hey, Luz. Thank you for letting me know you can hear me. Yeah, why? It's an interesting thing. I was just talking about this with somebody else. Why do people feel like they can offer unsolicited advice on what we do or don't eat? What other field of our lives, what other areas of our lives do we allow such? You know, it's an old saw that, you don't discuss politics or religion in polite company. We need to add, you don't talk about nutrition in front of polite company, because it's apparently like the third rail. If people start talking about it, there's going to be bloodshed. No, y'all, it's food. It's nobody's business what we eat. Some people are ill-informed. Some people genuinely are concerned about our health because they've been pummeled for decades from the media and from ill-informed medical providers that the ketogenic way of eating, a low carbohydrate diet, which consequently ends up being a moderate protein and the rest of it is made up of fat, is going to kill us. That we're going to have heart attacks, we're going to keel over from strokes, when actually the opposite can be true. So some people are genuinely concerned. Were they super concerned when we were 50 pounds overweight? Maybe they were. And maybe some of them would say, you need to get more exercise and eat less. But that's kind of a harsh thing for many people to say. But dadgummit, they will just offer an opinion. If your plate at dinner has a pork chop and some green beans, but no applesauce or no biscuit, what, are you not eating bread? Are you doing that? How can you do that? That's impossible. That's no good for you. You need bread. Bread is the staff of life. Nope. So how do you manage it? I was asked today, how did I deal with that? And here was my experience. Obviously, it's the only thing I can speak to. Around my circle of friends and family, my family, I was really fat for 30 years, so I lost some weight. They were thrilled. Plus, my kids, they're not that, they're living their lives. They're not paying that much attention to what I'm doing. My friends saw that I lost some weight. You lose 10, 15, 20 pounds. It took probably about 20 pounds, 25 pounds before anybody really noticed. Oh, that's great. What are you doing? Oh, I'm doing this. I'm just cutting out starches and sugars. Oh, wow. Because that was even before I knew it was ketogenic. Oh, that's great. But they'd seen me lose 10 or 15 pounds before and put it right back on. So they're just like, oh, that's good, Casey. Good for you. Good for you. Keep it up. And I'm sure they're thinking, oh, yeah, we've seen this game before. But then when it got a little bit more serious, I lost 30 pounds, 35 pounds, 40 pounds. Wow, what are you doing? Well, by now I, have stalked Doctors Westman, Finney, and Volek and others on the interwebs, and it's a well-formulated ketogenic diet. And by now I've read The Art and Science of Low Carbohydrate Living by Doctors Finney and Volek, and I understand the science behind it, the physiology behind it. Oh, I'm doing a ketogenic diet. I eat almost no carbs and moderate protein, and the rest is fat. Most of it saturated, or much of it saturated. Big eyes, Oh, wow. Aren't you worried about your cholesterol? So we have that conversation. But for the most part, they were accepting, and some were supportive and some were skeptical. And as I progressed, some stopped being the closest friends. That's too bad. Some friends prefer you when you're a hot mess. Who knows why? So in answer, the way I handled it was, I answered honestly and felt no compunction about doing so. And I felt no guilt or embarrassment about passing on foods that were not part of this program. For one thing, it just didn't occur to me that anyone would give a darn. I just can't imagine anyone caring that much. If I'm standing at a cocktail party and I have a martini and I am eating delicious cheese and hard salami, but I'm not eating the cream puffs and the crackers and the chips and the salsa, what does anyone care? No one noticed. Maybe some people noticed. And they might have made little sideways remarks. Someone referred to it, said, oh, please tell me you're not following that crazy diet Casey is. That was okay. Because ultimately, who gets a vote on what we eat? Nobody. Nobody gets a vote on what we eat. Not our life partner, not our children, certainly not passing acquaintances, not our co-workers. Sometimes our doctor doesn't even get a vote on what we eat. We're in charge. This is something that has been one of the most empowering things for me. I'm in charge. I'm finding success following something that I decided to do based on research, based on listening to people whom I trust. I didn't listen to everybody. Well, I listened to some people, but some of the ideas are contradictory and don't make logical sense to me. This makes sense to me. It makes logical sense and it makes physiological sense. So, how do you handle it? You can thank someone for their concern. Thank you for your concern. I really appreciate that, but I'm feeling really good. And I'll continue to monitor it. The minute I stop feeling good on this diet, I will reassess. Thank you for your concern. But you owe no one an explanation. You certainly don't have to eat food you don't want and that makes you sick out of politeness. Even on your birthday. Even if someone made you a special treat. Particularly if the people know that you are not eating carbs. If people know that you're avoiding carbs, that you've really cut back, and they bring you or treat you to or order a dessert for you on your birthday that they know is not in compliance with what you're doing, you need to ask yourself their motives. Don't want to put a blemish on anyone's reputation. But if your friend is trying to give you food that they know you don't eat, what's up with that? And if your friendship hinges on whether you partake of food they bought for you or provided for you or whatever, if your friendship hinges on that, maybe you need to assess what your friendship's all about, because that's a pretty tenuous relationship, in my opinion. It's can be a struggle. I admit that I've had, for the most part, either the support of the people around me, or I didn't care if other people didn't support me. I've gotten just old enough to not care. Talking about this with my friend Cindy. You get to be a certain age, and you leave all that fretting about other people's opinions behind you. If there are younger people out here listening, embrace the fact that very few opinions matter. Your opinion about yourself matters. The opinion of those closest to you who truly love you, whether that's friends, families, lovers, life partners. There's a very small group of people whose opinion matter to me. And not that I listen to those opinions. I mean, not that I'm going to say, oh, your opinion is that I do this, so I'm going to do it. But there's a very small circle of people whose opinion I will take under advisement. But really, your opinion about yourself matters the most. If your friends are wanting to feed you food that they know you don't want, do ask them. Ask yourself what their motives are. But then wonder, are you going to live the next 30 years for me? Are you going to live my next 30 years for me? You live your next 30 years. I'm going to live my next 30 years, 40 years, 50 years, 60 years. And I intend to be fierce at age 60, 70, 80, 90, 95, 97, 102. You do what you want to do. I'm going to do what I want to do. Have the strength of your convictions. And I will say, many of us are people pleasers. I'm not necessarily a people pleaser. It's one of my great strengths and one of my great flaws. But some of us are people pleasers. And we don't want to think that anyone feels bad for 10 seconds because of us. Again, if someone's going to feel that bad because you're not eating a serving of something, assess that situation. But even if you're a people pleaser, remember you're a person too. You deserve to be pleased. You deserve to please yourself. Okay? Just don't worry about it. Do what's right for you. And think, would I let this person offer unsolicited advice on, and then fill in the blank, on how I handle my relationship with my partner, on how I discipline my children. And I'm talking about unsolicited advice here. If you ask someone their opinion, don't be surprised if they give it. Unsolicited advice on whether or not I should color my hair. Unsolicited advice on what I grow in my garden. No, people don't get a vote on certain things. And they certainly shouldn't get a vote on what you eat. Okay, lecture over. Let's turn to the comments and say hey to people. And also, I do want to let you know, heads up, I'm probably going to be cutting back on these live YouTube sessions. My schedule is becoming happily quite full, and I simply need to be able to carve out a little bit more time. So I'll probably be doing, oh, thank you, Diane Gruber, $2 super chat. I'll probably be doing more old school videos, which are a little bit easier. They're harder to edit, but they can be more topical. And so I'll be trying to do this. So I'm probably going to be cutting back on the Monday afternoon live YouTube. I have increased my video presence on Patreon for all patrons, and I'm really enjoying those, and some other stuff going on. Okay, Wanda. Hey, Wanda. Wanda writes, tried to please people for 65 years and still got crap. So now finally I learned to please me for a change. Love them and keep on ketoing. Right, love them, but just don't let them rule your lives. You know, the old Ricky Nelson song, Garden Party. You know, you can't please everyone, so you got to please yourself. Hey, Ruthie, I am so glad to hear from you. I look forward to our talk. Hey, good morning, Jennifer Costa. Hashtag my friend Jen. Morning, squirrel. So, Gayla writes, so sad because I love my KC fix. I'm sorry about that. I just need to cut back. One of my driving messages to myself lately has been that I have got to wrest some control. Not control in a bad way, but I gotta get some control so that my sanity remains. And we all need to do that. All of us. Many of us have unbelievably busy lives. You know, I think about nurses who maybe work 12-hour shifts and have families. I don't know how you guys do it, honestly. So I am searching for, as I gain control of my life in one place, and I've said this before, one of the greatest things is food is no longer the driving force in my life. I don't have intrusive thoughts about food. I don't spend a lot of money on food. I don't spend hours thinking about purchasing, preparing food. I've got control over that. It's great. Got control over my food. Now I'm going down the list of other things I need to get control over so that I feel at peace, productive, like I'm giving something back to the universe, which has been so good to me. Carving out time for my relationship with my lovely mate and for myself. Sometimes I just sit and stare and think nothing. It's delightful. Hey, Kimmy. Hey, Kimmy. Hi, Jean. Hi. I love to see all these familiar names. I love to see the new ones. Scrap delicious. Absolutely, Casey. We need to make the best yes things when we consider our time. Yes, absolutely. Love the nurses' rights. Kim loves PGH. You're all overworked. Talk about people who are doing all the heavy lifting and getting very little of the acknowledgement. Ashley Kane, by the way, the habit tracker is awesome. Started using it today and love it so far. Thank you, Ashley. I make a lot of patron stuff. They get links to spreadsheets and stuff. And we talked about trying to get control of your day and making the most of your day. And I made a habit tracker, so I shared that, pared down version of it. So any patron gets use that. It's really just trying to get some things done for your day. And I like to do something for my mind, body, and spirit and intellect every day. I also have to do some things for my house. Ick. Ruthie writes, part of taking care of ourselves is putting ourselves first. Ruthie, you're absolutely correct. And I know you put that into action. And I know you have a lot of self-love, which has gotten you through some issues. And we can all stand to be like you, more like you. Jean O'Connor writes, you need to recharge, Casey. Yeah, we all do, don't we, Jean? Now, for those of you who don't know, Jean and husband Mark have had tremendous success together. Not that it was a straight line, right, Jean? I mean, it's not like it's easy every day. What do we say about this way of eating? It's simple. Don't mean it's easy. You know, I think if we were all left to our own resources, it would be easy. It's when the rest of the world intrudes. Caroline Tom, speaking volumes, Casey, love you. I love you back. I love all you guys. And I don't say that tritely. Never thought I'd be someone who would connect with people online, but it happens. And it's very interesting. That's another thing, we not to put too fine a point on it, but relationships change in life anyway. No matter what, relationships change. When your kids are at a certain stage of life, very often the parents of their friends kind of become your friends or acquaintances. And then everyone goes off to college and things drift. But relationships can change when we change. I've changed a lot. I'm still at core the same person I always was. But I have changed. And I am no longer a hot mess. I'm a lukewarm mess. Days I'm a lukewarm mess. I won't lie. Some days I'm a tepid mess. But my relationships with some people have changed. Some have disappeared. Made me sad. Made me sad for a while. But then I realized that's okay. That's life. Maybe I'm not as pleasant to be around now. Maybe I'm less available. Maybe I'm happier and that makes some other people uncomfortable. I don't know what it might be. Relationships change. I briefly mourn the loss of some, but getting back to you guys, I embrace and I celebrate relationships, and I do consider them relationships that have been made. Some with people I have yet to see face to face. I mean, some people I'm not within 2,400 miles of them, but we feel close. And some, like hashtag my friend Jen, I absolutely have made a very good friend. I miss you, girl. All through this. So if you find that your relationships are morphing, go with the flow. Things change. Life has changed. But there's a yin and a yang. When, yin and yang, that beautiful, elegant symbol. When there's pressure here, there's a release of pressure here. When there's pressure here, there's a release of pressure there. When something changes this way, something changes this way. Be open to it. Embrace it. All right, I'm going to start to sign off here. A couple of things. Gina O'Connor writes, there is a song that says, lost the friends that I needed losing, found others on the way. I'd go with that. So a couple of things. I don't know what I'm going to be doing with the YouTube Live. I want to do more YouTube old school short format videos, and I will be working on that. Many people have asked if I've done the Keto Mojo. Hold please. I have not yet used it. I haven't even opened up the package yet. I've been very busy. Happily busy. Keto Mojo, I'm going to do a video comparing my results with this side by side with the Precision Extra. So I'll let you know. I know a lot of you have your Keto Mojos, and they're not a sponsor. I don't get a referral fee or anything. Believe me, I asked. And but I like this guy. I like Mr. Mojo. Met him in San Diego. And the strips, the ones I've got anyway, lifetime, whatever it is, early adopter, 99 cents each, as opposed to the Precision Extra, which can be as high as $5 each. I get them from Canada for about $2.20 each, but anyway, 99 cents is better. So we're going to see if they work. Yes. Denise Martinez, you'll see some of these comments. Well, those of you who are on delay can't see them, but you'll see some of these comments are people talking to each other because we spend time on the Patreon only video group chats, and we get to know each other. We get to know each other's backstory. It's fantastic. So Wendy writes, again, after being away for ages, so happy to be back with Casey and all you keto crew. Need this so much. Welcome back, Wendy. Gayla Rodriguez, I enjoy when a thought-provoking question is posted on Keto After 40. Yes, there's a lot of repetitive information on Keto After 40 because a lot of people are asking the question for the first time. But there are some thought-provoking questions, and there is a lot of support there. There is another plug for Patreon, the group. There's a closed patron-only forum for folks, and I do like to say it's like Facebook only. It doesn't suck. No trolls or anything like that. All right, guys. Thank you very much. Keep it real. Keep your carbs 20 grams or fewer a day. Eat only fatty sources of protein. Eat only when you're hungry. Stop when you're satisfied. Keep it simple. The most successful people with whom I speak are people who just don't play. They're not trying to trick their brains or their bodies. They're doing exactly what the protocol says. They're not trying to fake foods. They're just sticking with it. Other people are successful and can be less stringent. I am not one of those people. I need to be pretty adherent. So find out if you do as well. Dory Lamarco writes, love Discourse. Thank you. I do too. Discourse is the patron-only forum. One of our greatest threads, started by Karen from Alaska. Because one day I talked about my hair, because I do these little snippet videos most mornings, and I look horrible. My hair is all crazy. And so I made a remark about my hair, and Karen said, don't worry about it. I look like I have road flat hair as well. And then she posted a picture. And so we challenged, and people are posting pictures of themselves first thing in the morning. It's really funny. It's like we've all had a big sleepover, and we're all coming down from our respective bedrooms in the lodge, stumbling, looking for our coffee, and we look a sight, but it's a lot of fun. Okay, guys. Kimmy, something's coming your way, sister girl. Be on the lookout, probably the middle of next week. Wanda, you're too kind. You guys have a great week. I probably won't see you next Monday, but we'll see how the week goes. I'll try to put out a notice one way or the other. Hasta la vista. Auf Wiedersehen. Adieu. Au revoir. Adios. Do svidania. Take it easy.